At long last, ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the Elgato Facecam. Now, as a admitted Elgato fanboy, this is one of the products that least gets me going. And the reason for that is I already use mirrorless cameras for my Facecam on my streams and also for other uses. I really don't have a use for a webcam. With that said, one of these came into my possession, and I wanted to give it a fair shake and a little bit of an overview / almost review just to see if it stacks up like Elgato says it does. So let's take a look at the box for a moment. The first thing you're going to notice is it's only 1080p 60. Now, I say it's only 1080p 60 like that's a knock on it. It's meant to be a face cam. It's not meant to use as a daily driver for YouTube videos and whatnot like that. You can use it for that purpose, but the fact of the matter is this is meant to be in the corner of your screen, about right here, with you while you play video games on stream, period. That's what this is meant for. That's the market for this camera. Second thing on the box you notice is low latency uncompressed video. More on that later. The last thing, and also more on this in a moment, is an Elgato Prime Lens studio quality optics. Really curious as to how that's going to stack up in real usage, because there's been a lot of webcams that say they have great optics, but at the end of the day, they just turned out to be webcams. Go figure. So let's flip it over real quick. Take a look at some other information on the box. True HD at 60 frames a second. Cool. None of this really matters except for two things that caught my eye immediately. The first thing was Elgato flash memory. If you have ever used a Logitech webcam, which I have before I switched to using mirrorless cameras, I used a C922 as well as a Logitech Brio, which I still own. The most annoying thing about dealing with Logitech webcams is the fact that you could not save your settings on the dang camera. It was annoying. You'd have to set up your camera every time you started your stream, or at least I did. I never found a really good way to keep my settings saved. This saves it on board. Grade A in my book. I immediately recommend it just based on that. I'm kidding, but still, that's huge. The second thing I noticed, state-of-the-art Sony sensor? Do what now? This is a webcam, y'all. Do we really need Sony to get involved? I ain't mad at it. If it's great quality, for the price, it could be worth it. So we'll see in testing here momentarily. And then a little bit more on the Prime lens. This also caught my eye. It's an f2.4 24mm lens. That's interesting. That's pretty good depth of field for streaming. It's going to give you a nice little shallow depth of field, as well as a pretty wide point of view. So I'm curious as to how this translates into actual real world usage. Let's crack this bad boy open, shall we? I have pre-cut the tape for your viewing pleasure. That way I'm not having to fidget with a knife or anything. I'm assuming the little box to the left is going to be the cables and whatnot. Let's see if I'm right. I believe I'm right. Oh, this is huge. That is a long cable, y'all. That is a detachable USB-C cable. So if it goes bad on you, breaks, dog chews it up, no problem. Just buy another USB-C. You're good to go. Underneath, you're going to find the usual instruction manual, quick start guide that you would see with any electronic like this. To the man of the hour. Ooh, this is a hefty boy. Come on now. And here we go. Would you just look at it? This is the Elgato Facecam. Is that a sticker or is that a... Okay, it's got like a little breakaway thing that you can cover it with. That's a pretty webcam. I like that. It's a honker, It is very big. It's probably about 1.5 to 2 inches tall. So it's got some hefty size to it. But that's a nice looking webcam. Facecam branding on the side with the Elgato logo. On the back, just simple vents as well as the USB port. And then the usual hanging style mount. Ooh, it's got a little tilt function too. That's nice. And a rotate function. Very nice. It may look real cool, but that doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Let's see how this bad boy performs. So, how am I going to go about doing this? Well, I am going to pit this guy, the Facecam, against this guy. This is a Sony a5000, and this is my everyday driver when it comes to stream cams. I'm really excited to see how these two compare, because this guy retails for about $200, and this guy about $200 to $250 with the kit lens on eBay. So it's a pretty fair comparison in terms of specs and in terms of price, and we'll see which one's better. For those of you familiar with my stream, you're used to this point of view. For those of you who are not, www.twitch.tv/assortednerdery. What are you doing? Go check me out. Anyway, we're going to play a little game today. And the game is, which one is the Elgato Facecam? So there's going to be two cameras that you're going to see. Camera 1, and this will be camera 2. I'll give you a few seconds to figure out which one is the Elgato Facecam. So, which one is the Elgato Facecam? Well, if you guess camera 1, you are correct. Camera 2 was the Sony a5000. I have to say, I'm fairly impressed with this little guy. I am currently running manual settings. This is on manual exposure, 1/64th shutter speed, and 602 ISO, with my Elgato ring light showing at 20% brightness. The resolution is currently set to 1080p 60, so I've got it maxed out. Now, I'm not really going to go into detail on the camera software. The camera software is great. It's Elgato. It's exactly what you would expect. Great job, Elgato. Elgato never disappoints when it comes to their software, or for that matter, their hardware. I'm kind of impressed with this little guy. With that said, it's not all roses. So this camera apparently is very particular about the USB ports that you use. Originally, I had used my front panel ports on my Fractal Meshify C. They're 3.0 ports. They work perfectly fine. The camera comes up, plays for about 5 or 6 frames, and freezes. And that's all that happens. And you can go into the Camera Hub software and bump the resolution down to 540 or whatever the resolution was, and then click it back up, and it'll work briefly again, and then it craps out eventually within about 2 or 3 seconds. It was kind of a pain. I finally had to clear out some space on the backside of my motherboard and just plug it in directly to my USB hub on my motherboard. So who is this webcam for? It's for someone who enjoys technology, and it's easily the best webcam on the market. It's for someone who started making revenue off of their stream and they want to improve the quality of their face cam, but they're not quite ready to make the leap into mirrorless. Are there better options out there? Absolutely. I still stand by the fact that a mirrorless camera on the cheap, such as an Alpha 5000 or an Alpha 5100, are a better option for streaming than one of these guys. And that's just how I am. And the reason why I say that is because it has more applications outside of your stream. From a purely stream perspective, this is perfectly adequate. If you want to broaden your horizons and do more than just stream, such as YouTube, the mirrorless camera is the better play, because not only do you get that stream camera, but you get the ability to film other things away from your room. So I went ahead and fired up Firefox, and I went over to eBay to see what the options available were for A5000 cameras. And I'm pleasantly surprised to find that for around the same price as the Elgato Facecam, you can find some deals on Sony a5000 cameras. Now, granted, you're going to be talking $50 to $100 more, plus you would need to buy some sort of capture card, which there are options out there besides the Elgato Cam Link that'll get you done. But you are talking the versatility of a mirrorless camera for just a little bit more than what you would pay for an Elgato Facecam. Now, again, we're talking, is it stream worthy? Is the Elgato Facecam stream worthy? And yes, it 100% is. But as Harris Heller will tell you at Alpha Gaming, diversifying goes a long way toward building your brand. So if you're looking for something that you could utilize outside of the stream to help you grow your stream, I would recommend going with the mirrorless camera. So overall, this is a fantastic webcam. I cannot deny that whatsoever. It is most definitely stream worthy. But I tend to agree with a lot of the content creators out there that say diversification is key. If you are at the point in your streaming career where you are pulling in enough money to supplement buying gear, maybe you want to look at a mirrorless camera and not a webcam. If you're at that in-between point where you're not new, but you're not well established enough to justify spending $300, $400, $500 on gear, but you can justify it on a webcam like this is an excellent option. It's also an excellent option for someone who just wants to plug and play and forget about it. Set up your settings, do what you gotta do, turn on your stream. So this is definitely stream worthy, but depending on where you are in your streaming career, there could be better options out there for you. Guys, as always, thank you for watching. If you made it this far and you like what you see, be sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe if you want to see more content. I'm trying to put out a video a week, usually on Sundays, so just be on the lookout for that. Also, you can find me on www.twitch.tv/assortednerdery. Link in the description. So with that said, I'm Marsh. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys, and I'll see you around. Bye.